Welcome back, guys, or if you're new to my channel, this is Automotive Anonymous. That's a 2025 Mazda CX-50. More specifically, it's an S Premium. It costs around $35,000 after destination and delivery. And this is going to be a quick 8 to 10 minute video, primarily focusing on the subjective aspects of it and mostly how it drives, including a 0 to 60. But I just want to give you guys a quick 1-minute walk around of this. If you want to watch more objectiveness, more of a full review on it, you're welcome to find that video on my channel. But some of you guys, you care more about the driving, so you want an extended driving portion because that's where you personally are going to be spending most of the time if you choose to buy a CX-50. So quickly, look at the back. You have a little bit over 30 cubic feet of room, only a temporary spare tire in this one, hidden under here, and you have a Bose subwoofer with lots of extra storage on the sides behind the fender wells. So pretty good storage. You can lock and lower or just lower. But because this is only a 15.4 foot long compact crossover, it's not huge. In fact, I easily look well above the vehicle at 5'11". So the back seats, oops, it looks like they're locked. That's kind of where some of the compromises come in when you choose to have a compact crossover. But despite its size, despite its reasonable price tag, it's a top safety pick. Plus, it has a lot of creature comforts, even ventilation and lighting, and a fold-down armrest with a big pano moonroof up top. So with that said, let's hop inside, take it for a drive, and you'll notice right away the materials, everything, it just looks straightforward. It looks simple. Looks like a nice place to be. And sitting inside here, I can tell you that it definitely is. You have this fun, sturdy handle. You have basically some pretty straightforward gauges. It is lit up red because I do have it in sport mode with traction control off, voice and volume on the left, adaptive cruise on the right. The horn, kind of high pitched, but overall I think it sounds decent. This is your backup camera. Trajectory lines do not move with the wheel, but it does have all-wheel drive. Mazda's all-wheel drive system is actually really good. Physical ventilation. You have a cup holder, some storage all up here. You have your different drive modes for normal, sport, or off-road. Sport basically just downshifts it 1 gear in the 6-speed transmission to make it more responsive. You're going to get worse MPG, but you're going to have a funner time. And then you have your scrolly dial to go through everything here. I can't show you guys what it sounds like on camera, plus what my phone picks up for camera, and then what it plays back on your speakers is not going to be an accurate representation of how well these Bose do, but in person they do sound really good. I don't necessarily like the French door center armrest though. It is big, but you can't really do much with just one side. You kind of have to awkwardly open both. Anyways, guys, let's go into drive. Make sure the backpack is strapped in, and let's have a good time launching out of this gravel pit. We keep pretty good traction even at full acceleration, which this is a 4-cylinder non-turbo. You can buy a turbo, but your peak torque on the non-turbo isn't going to come on until around 4,000 RPM. If you do choose to buy the turbo engine, you're going to spend a little bit more on gas and a little bit more up front, but I think you're going to have a very fun experience with that. A non-turbo like this can tow about 2,000 pounds. A turbo can tow about 3,500 pounds, and it still has a 6-speed transmission. So we have a Chevy Tahoe coming down the road. We're going to see how long it takes us to catch it. Miles per hour is about 60 on this highway road. So let's see what this sounds and looks like. Engine sounds good, and I'm finally hitting 60, and then if I were to speed, I'd be catching up to it finally. Climate controls, I just turned the heat up because it's only in the 50-degree ballpark right now, and the heat gets really hot and actually pretty quick. I also have the heated seats on in this, and Mazda heated seats are some of the best. But just driving it down the road, let's maybe get into cruise control. This one only seems to have emergency lane keep assist, not regular lane keep assist, so you're still going to have to do a lot of the work. But it does have adaptive cruise, so it does let you wander out. And currently it's set to vibrate the steering wheel when you go over a line. You can also change that in the settings to have it beep at you. There's actually a lot of settings that you can go through in here if you choose to, and then in the about 10-inch diagonal display. And personally, I really like the display because it doesn't block your vision. Not very many things are tied to it. The heated seats, the ventilation, HVAC system, all of that is just separate. You also have the physical buttons and controls down here. Some automakers these days, they tie everything to the screen, and because automakers kind of suck at software, honestly, you just aren't going to want to have everything tied to one screen, especially when you're going to be using Android Auto and Apple CarPlay most of the time if you want a better user-friendly experience that regularly updates. But overall, driving this is really nice. Mazdas feel pretty sporty in general, and visibility is not fantastic. There's a way better visibility in other crossovers, but the side mirrors do a good job. The rear view mirror goes right down the center of this 15.4 foot long vehicle, and I can't complain too much. Even though the vehicle is black, even though there's a lot of black on the interior, you actually get a lot of natural light with the power panoramic moonroof. You can always close the sunshade if you want. And changing direction, there's just a little bit of dead space before it really starts to pick up and dive in. But when you go around a corner, you're kind of reminded that this is a still nearly a 4,000 pound SUV, and it's not going to corner super well, but at low speeds especially, it does feel really competent, and it does feel like it handles really well. Let's maybe get to the 0 to 60 right here. 0 to 60 in the CX-50. Keep in mind, density altitude's over 4,000 feet, so it is down on power over 14%. But I'm in sport mode, traction is off, and I'll do a little bit of a brake rev. Let's see what it can do. And true 0 to 60 came in at 10.36 seconds. So a little bit over 10 seconds, not exceptionally quick. A turbo model in my testing is usually in the high 7s or about 8-second ballpark. Just kind of depends on your elements. But keep in mind, that's with the vehicle not weighted down, without the 850 pounds of payload or even towing. That's just with me in the backpack in the vehicle. So if you do have more weight in the vehicle, you might be at 11, 12, 13 seconds. If you have higher elevation or you're going up a Colorado mountain pass, could be even worse. Also, keep in mind, if you want this one or one like it at a really good deal below MSRP, check out Goody Mazda in Southern Idaho. They're a fantastic dealership. Just reference the video and tell them that you want a really good deal to make it worth your time, and they'll hook you up. I'll link them below if you're interested. But overall, I personally really like Mazdas. I actually owned a Miata for about 1.25 years. It was a 2023. I only sold it a few months ago, just because it was time to move on to the next experience and to simplify, and you know, I had my fun with that car. But 17,000 miles, not a single hiccup really, and I just like Mazdas. I think they're really well built. I also have videos of a few of the Mazda models in the winter with how well their all-wheel drive system works. But these Goodyear Assurance tires with 930 seconds of tread depth, I think for about $35,000, you're getting overall a really good package, and the CX-50 is definitely something to consider. I like how aggressive they look. I like how bold they are, especially on the front end. I do wish the back had functional, aero vents and not just nonsense black cladding. But overall, I think it's a pretty good option, and one that you guys are probably going to like. We're going to do a U-turn here. We're going to see how this does to show you how convenient a 36 full circle actually is. Yeah, not too bad. And with that said, if you guys got anything out of this video, please consider liking this video. Comment your thoughts and opinions below. Subscribe if you haven't already. I wish you the best. I hope you take care, and until next time, see you guys.